Okay, so today is Ta'anit Esther. We all know Ta'anit Esther is different than all of the other fasts. Rambam writes that we have 4 fasts that we fast days, Hakamim wa Mitaken, Zecher, the Hurban, Beit HaMikdash, and it's to remember Beit HaMikdash, and not only to remember, but to do teshuvah on our avonot, because every generation that the Beit HaMikdash is not built, it's like it was destroyed in that time. So it's not only to commemorate the Hurban Beit HaMikdash, but it's because we are still in the same problems. We still do not do enough teshuvah to be zocher to Beit HaMikdash. So we have to remember it. Remember Hurban Beit HaMikdash, do teshuvah as a way to fix our avonot, tikkun avonot, to be zocher to Beit HaMikdash. Different, but is Ta'anit Esther. The Rambam writes, ונהגו כל ישראל בזמנים אלו לטענות. The minhag is to face, י"ג אדר, זכר לתענית שטענו בימי המן, שנאמר דברי עצומות וזעקתם. Why do we fast on י"ג אדר? This year it's pushed before. Why do we fast Ta'anit Esther? Is to remember the fast that they fasted in the time of Mordechai and Esther. And the question is, what is the inyan to remember the fast that they fasted at the time of Mordechai and Esther? Bishlama, we said about Hurban Beit HaMikdash that we still have to do teshuvah. The reason for the Hurban till now is because of us also. We can't say it's because Avotenu Hatu, they sinned and therefore we have Hurban Beit HaMikdash. No. Because if we would do teshuvah, we would have now. Hashem is waiting to send the Mashiach to build his Beit HaMikdash. So it has to do with us also. That's why we fast. But at the time they had a gezerah. There was a bad decree on Am Yisrael to Has V'Shalom wipe out Am Yisrael. What do? Pray. They prayed, they got saved. So therefore, what is the inyan now today to do, to commemorate the fast? They fasted, they needed. What's our inyan to fast today on Ta'anit Esther? So a little bit about the Gezerah, just to understand, we know that Eliyahu Navi at the time, he went to the Avot HaKiddushim, he went to pray, and he told them, listen, there's a bad decree on Am Yisrael, you have to save Am Yisrael. So what could we do? They went off, they went to Seudat HaShverosh, we can't help them. He went to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe, you are the shepherd of Am Yisrael. You are the leader. They're going to kill out Has V'Shalom Am Yisrael. There's a gezerah. He said, how's the gezerah signed? Is it signed in cement, in dirt, or it is signed in blood? So Eliyahu Navi says, Betit, it's in cement. It's cement, we could still save the day. If it's in blood, it's lost. We can't do anything anymore. The Maharal explains, very nice Peshat, what does it mean that if it's signed, if it's written in cement, you could still save them. In blood, you can't do anything anymore. So Maharal explains that Betit, what's tit? Tit is the physical, it's very physical. It's the afar, it's the dirt. He says if they sin because they are connected to the humriyut, to the physical pleasures, and they just had a yetzer hara to go to a Hashverosh party. There was a party, they were having a good time, they wanted to go have a good time, even though it's wrong, but that we could still fix. But if there was nahtam bedam, if it was signed in blood, that means it's a different blood. It's a different type of people. They have a different ashkafa, outlook in life. They think that the right outlook is to be like the goyim. We're leaving God because that's not modern. Like we have the conservative, the reformed. They're not doing it because they have a Yetzirah. Of course, it could be in the beginning that was their ulterior motive. They had Yetzirah, they were pushed because of the Yetzirah. But now they have all different new Torah that they live. We have to modernize the Torah. We have to make it different, the Torah. So if it's because of that, then there's no chance. What does it mean that if we have a kesher humri, how do you disconnect the physical ta'ava that a person might have towards this world? How do we fix that? Through fasting, through teshuvah, through tefillah, praying to Hashem, and leaving all of the physical pleasures and understanding what is the ikar and connecting ourselves back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mordechai and Esther were teaching us what is the tikkun, how do you fix things when there's a gezerah, has v'shalom Am Yisrael. For all of the generations that we go into the galut, what do we do? Al yedei teshuvah tefillah. We see from Mordechai and Esther that they did not leave God for 1 second. When Mordechai was put on the horse, Haman had to put him on the horse, he had to take him to the bathhouse. Mordechai kicked him, he got the garbage thrown on him, then he was taken to the Beit HaMalchut, to the palace. Where did Mordechai go? He went back to the Sak Be'efed. He didn't leave God for a second. He didn't feel, oh, look, God is saving us. He forgot about God. No, he stayed with the same idea. It says when Esther came to the party the second day, and he was going to tell Hashverosh, this is the guy that made the decree. Really, she was about to point, she was pointing to Hashverosh, and she wanted to say, Isar v'oyev on you, on Hashverosh. Just the last second, the malach came and pushed her hand to go on Haman. But if not, she was going to point at Hashverosh. How could that be? Well, she's going to mess up the whole thing. Finally, we see the Yeshua, you're going to mess up. Because Esther was not thinking at all about the physical things. She's thinking about her connection, her conversation with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Where was the source of the Gezerah? It's Hashverosh, it's Rasha. And she's praying to Hashem, Hashem, please cancel out this guy, this Hashverosh and Rasha. So politically, of course, she has to say Haman. But she was so shakwa, she's so intertwined in just thinking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu and talking to him, even while she's by Hashverosh, she forgot already about all of the diplomatic moves, and she's about to point to Hashverosh. Exactly the opposite of the what it looks like. What should she have done before she goes into Hashverosh? Put on some makeup, look good, have a good meal. She's fasting for 3 days. She couldn't even walk. She needed them to schlep her, to carry her to get to Hashverosh because she was so weak. Why? Because they understood totally that the whole Gezerah is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he's running everything. And the only way to save themselves and Am Yisrael is through tefillah and teshuvah and fasting. That's why part of the Purim is the tefillah. It's not just for the time being. There was a tefillah that was needed to be said to be saved. No. But the whole idea, the techlit, the goal of the whole Purim is the kirvah, being close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Until we finally get to the Purim itself, when we're so happy and we're so close to God, you could ask for anything you want. But what is the techlit? The goal is ta'anit Esther. What's ta'anit Esther means? The closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and understanding that everything is in the hand of God. The more we understand, the more we davuk, the more we're connected to Hashem, obviously our tefillot have more power. The less we rely on God, the more we rely on ourselves. Tefillah doesn't have a strength. But when we really feel that we have no one else besides God, then our tefillot has strength. At the time, Mordechai and Esther, they understood very, very clearly, and the Gezerah was out, that was the end, lo alenu, of Am Yisrael, finished. It's going to be wiped out, Chas v'shalom, and only zechut of the tefillot from the bottom of their hearts. The little kids also, everyone was fasting and praying and learning. And they connected themselves back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and they're zochet to the Yeshua. So the fast is coming to teach us, it's not the fast is something aside that you need to do like a tool to go ahead and save yourself, and then once you get saved, it's over. The fast is really the tachlit, the goal. Because why do the gezerot come? Why do all the bad decrees come? Because we're far from Hashem. So the idea of the fast and the teshuvah is to become closer to God, which is the real idea of the Purim. But sometimes you can't just drink and be close to Hashem without that preparation of the teshuvah and the tefillah. So it's all one. The tefillot and the simcha of Purim and the Yeshua is all one to connect that we are all dependent on the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we understand that the Yeshua, the Savior, is totally from God. And B'ezrat Hashem, we will be zocheh this year for the Mashiach, and zocheh that Hashem will accept all of our tefillot, our praise, and we will live our lives totally connected with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Have a good day.